That cool.
What's up, everybody? My name is Thomas. Welcome back to the Superdorf Show.
I'm Garrett Hartle, and we're glad to have you guys here tonight.
All right, Mike's are looking hot. You're looking hot.
Thanks.
I'm looking hot. That snake's looking hot.
The snake is looking hot. I actually, you don't know this, but I just did a live stream from downstairs on Instagram.
Really?
Yeah, like over the last 15 minutes. And I was showing off some house snakes while I was hanging down there.
Spilling the beans?
I just saw some babies, and I was like, oh, gosh, look at these babies. So I was showing them off. So tonight, like we do every night at one of these live streams, we're going to name one of the snakes. But instead of a retic, I thought we'd change it up and go with a house snake.
All right, why don't you show them what we got, what we're naming today. I'm going to tell them who this show's brought to them by. This show is brought to you by Ship Your Reptiles. Ship Your Reptiles is the only company we ship with, and that's because when we ship with them, we know that not only are they experts in shipping any species that you can think of, but they genuinely care about the animals. They're so passionate. We love Susie and Chad and the whole gang over there, and their team is just truly top notch. We've done business with them for years, isn't that right, Garrett?
So yeah, they're the only ones I've ever shipped with outside of like Delta for specialty shipments.
Yep, and we are excited to help them partner with you to bring your animals safely to wherever they need to go at any level, industrial or hobbyist. So we love them. They brought this show.
Is it different shipping industrial levels? I'm imagining like metal cases with
sharks.
Maybe.
I feel like they would figure out how to ship a shark. If they were like, hey, I want to ship a shark, they'd be like, well, we're going to need some special insurance on that one. But...
I think they actually do ship sharks because they have Ship Your Aquatics now.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys have seen it. One more shameless plug.
Mugu.
So G.I. Joe schedules all the shipping, and he usually handles like the Ship Your Reptile stuff. So they've rolled out a new website. Now, I've seen the new website, but I hadn't used it yet. Except last week, he called in sick. So I had to jump in and process a bunch of shipments that were kind of like, thrown on me or whatever. Not like his fault or anything like that. He was sick. So it was just kind of like, oh, the snakes are there. Let me know if you can't figure it out. So I had to jump in there and process several shipments, go into very different places in the country, box them all up, do all that kind of stuff. And
get sweaty and dirty and work for once? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, that's probably the easier kind of work. That the stuff I was doing today was definitely more sweatier and dirtier. I don't know if you guys can tell. But no, I'll tell you what, the new website made it really easy. So you guys should definitely go check it out. It was nice to be able to worry about the boxes and heat packs and temperatures and things that I know that I want to do to pack the snakes really well, make sure that obviously right animals go in right places, hatch certificates, all that, and not have to worry about printing the labels, which I feel like is the opposite way that it has traditionally been, where the hardest, scariest, most tedious place is to know how to process the label correctly. And they did a great job with the new website refresh. So it's not that new, but it was new to me. So you guys should go check it out. Try to send a shipment. I think we can get you a discount, actually.
Yeah,
I think we can do better than that. If you have a coupon code, I think it's just reach out. You get 15% off of your shipment, but bigger than that, I negotiated with them as kind of a part of this whole sponsorship deal that you actually get our preferred customer status. We've been shipping with them, like you said, for a long time. We ship a lot of reptiles. We spend a lot of money with Ship Your Reptiles. And so we have like a top tier preferred customer status on our account. And you guys get that same status if you ship with them that first time. Well, it doesn't even matter if it's the first time. If you put reach out as a coupon and you take that, it automatically tags you with that preferred customer
Then you
status.
can be the +1 to the exclusive shipping party that we are invited to.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we ship like tons and tons of snakes for many, many years. You could be shipping one animal or even just processing a label for something that you bought on Morph Market that's getting shipped to you, right? And ask them to use this discount when they ship your label, and then you've got the discount.
We do have confirmation they do ship sharks. Thank you, Susie. What's up?
See, there it is.
They ship
After
sharks.
some of the stuff that Chad was talking about that they ship when we were at Retic Fest, I'm not surprised they ship sharks at all.
That's what I said. Ship your Mugu.
They ship those sharks ship shape.
You can ship your shark. Consider that a shark shipped.
All right.
All right, well, we're about to get into it, but before we get started, I just want to give a special note that if you want to stop everything, no matter where we're at, you can drop a super chat, ask a question, say something nice. Because the super chats go towards making the show cooler. Garrett, I'm gonna full screen this so you can show us how the desk goes up and down.
He was complaining about how he wants like guests on all the time. You guys don't want guests. Yeah, we got the sit stand desk. Thomas is very proud of it. He and I both claim the desk top, because we both built it somehow.
Yeah, I feel like there was 50-50 effort that went into that.
But yeah, the sit stand thing is nice. The surround is coming. Along with a million other projects that we have to do.
It's a cool set. I'm really happy with how it's like taken shape.
Yep, there's a few more things. We need our spiel over there. We need, like I said, the surround on the desk, all that kind of stuff. But the bigger thing would be, I think, like getting guests on here.
Yeah.
Weren't you talking about, needing a certain amount of money or whatever to up a subscription so that we can get people on here on the regular? Which would be pretty cool.
Yeah, it would be sweet.
Bring somebody else out here. Get their opinion on stuff. We even talked about, I don't think I should say stuff prematurely because we throw out ideas and then we mention them on the line.
And you commit to them.
Yeah, especially on our Patreon. I do that a lot. But hey, we're here. We're live on YouTube. We were even talking about potentially next year having like a sweepstakes where one of you guys, we pick somebody that has participated in a super chat and actually bring them out to be a guest live on the Superdorf show. What do you think about that?
You know who I think our first guest should be is Angela Ferraro, because it's her birthday today. She's spending her birthday watching us.
Happy birthday,
I think
Angela.
that is a horrible birthday life choice. But you know what? We're honored.
Hey, whatever floats your boat. It's your birthday.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever ships your snakes. You know what I mean?
How about this? This is, so you guys probably wouldn't have even seen any pictures of these on the internet or anything yet. These are a new line of albino house snake. So there's been albinos around. They have T-paws and T-neg, they call them in the hobby, which is kind of cool. But this is a completely different genetic mutation. It's like a true amelanistic for the first time. They are glow in the dark from babies to adults compared. I should have brought up some normal albinos of the T-paws and T-negs to show you the difference. But I mentioned that on the live for Instagram when I was showing off a couple of babies that we've gotten most of our snakes. I think all of our house snakes from Bushveld Reptiles. And this is their proprietary line. They have their own line of albino. I don't think they've released it to the public yet. So you saw it here first. Sorry, Bushveld Reptiles. But isn't that thing beautiful? I love it. That is a
pretty sweet snake. It looks super orange on this camera.
So I'm just going to hang out. Well,
I mean, it's orange in real life, but like for once,
stage.
It's doing it justice.
Right. So, I mean, they are like neon colored. But, yeah, stay tuned to the end of the show, and I will let you guys help pick a name out for this girl. She's going to be entering the breeding population here at Reach Out Reptiles.
And her name might have a chance of being Susie today.
And we named a snake Susie.
Did we?
We did.
I'm behind the curve.
Yeah, you weren't here. We did the Patreon thing, and Susie named a snake Susie last week.
Listen,
it was
all
a male,
I'm saying
so it's
is
like a boy named Sue.
All I'm saying is, I do remember that. All I'm saying is, why stop at one? Something to think about. Why stop at one? We got someone saying CRISPR snake.
That'd be a good one. I like it. Very scientifically advanced. Look at this python head. I don't know. I gotta show this off.
You gotta get in close.
I love these things.
They can't hear you, but I'll narrate for you.
Show me where I need to go so you can.
You're good. That's perfect. Right there.
Right there.
Yeah.
Look at that little...
Get closer.
Can translate for me. Look at
down.
How Python-esque.
Look at how Python-esque that head shape is.
Look at me.
It's too bad they're not as cool as Superdorfs.
What?
Too bad.
Squish.
Not Snake Wife approved.
Very cute.
Very cute, Garrett says. Yeah, it is a pretty cute snake.
Yeah, you have the Antaresia and stuff is like the smallest of the pythons, and these guys, especially some of the species, are like a tenth of their size. These ones are almost the same length, but quite a bit smaller than Antaresia.
A random question from the chat.
Okay.
Do you think retics can get 30 feet or more?
Nope. I mean,
do you think it could? You think there's a chance? You're saying there's a chance.
I don't think that there are any out there that people know of right now.
What do you think 30-foot
Despite what you read on the
retic poop would look like?
Well, I mean, like a true 20-foot retic is massive. You always hear people be like, oh, they get up to 25 feet and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. It's like, I guess so. You know,
it's like humans could maybe get up to 8 feet. Maybe.
Yeah, a retic over, say 22 feet would be like a human over 9 feet.
Yeah, that's a pretty big person.
You know what
Pretty
I'm
big
saying?
snake.
Like, yeah, that could happen. Stranger things have happened. Do I think they can get over 30 feet? No, I don't think you're ever going to find one like that. I mean, I've seen some really big snakes that feel like 30 feet, but they're always closer to 20. So,
Well, you heard it there. One last note before we dive into our main topic of discussion. You may notice our live stream schedule is a little different. We're not doing as many live streams. We're doing it once a month.
Different.
I mean, it's the same goofs. Same old crap.
Same old different.
In a slightly lower quantity, but that's just because we're putting effort into putting more videos out a month. So that'll be cool. But we're going to post a live stream, the schedule in the community tab. So keep your eye peeled there. And we'll probably just put out, an Instagram post or something. Make sure that you guys know when our next live stream is. Keep you in the loop.
We'll be doing them monthly. I think the next couple of months, holy smokes, are the next couple of months busy for me.
Yeah, you're traveling a lot.
We are, yeah. So, like, before I see you guys again on a live stream, because it's going to be about 4 weeks or so, we will have hit, there's an Oktoberfest festival that we're doing, pulling out all the stops, 25,000 people. We're setting up, They have a whole thing called World of Reptiles, so we're setting up a big display there. That's this weekend. Then we
That's
have
like the
Animal Con.
entire population of the town I grew up in, like going to a fair.
It's somehow like 30 times the population of the town that it's in.
Yeah.
This is the one everyone travels
It's crazy.
for. So it would be kind of cool to represent. We were actually on, my aunt was calling me because she saw us on the news yesterday morning.
I could probably play
We
a
were
clip
live
of that.
on Pittsburgh, KDKA. So saw us there, saw the snakes there and everything like
Did I
that.
pull up a clip?
I guess if you can, sure. You guys want to see us on the local news? What was that? Did you see the snake geek out?
No, I didn't.
She touched my arm hair, the old snake on the arm hair debate, and she was like, "What is that?" I gotta start shaving the arms again. Brian Cusco loves it. My wife, not so much.
Brian Cusco loves it.
He did.
Oh, man.
Little searchable as Reptiles reference for you guys. If you remember, then you remember. But yeah, so we've got Oktoberfest. Then we've got Animal Con. Is the following weekend down in Florida.
Yeah, that should be a blast.
Animal YouTuber thing, which is really fun. Then I have something called Rhubarb and Reptiles. If you know anything about Minnesota, then you
Rhubarb
can probably
and
guess
Reptiles.
that's Rhubarb and Reptiles. Yeah, it's it's an exclusive thing.
So exclusive, you didn't even invite me.
Did not invite.
Just taking
you,
Joe on
Thomas.
this one.
No, it's secret. You can't film there. Everyone will be wondering what's up with the rhubarb. But it's like a secret society reptile thing. Only the
All
coolest
right,
people go
you want
there.
to see us on TV? All right,
And a
let's
bunch
see
of
if
them
I
are
can-
YouTubers, so you'll probably see it anyway.
Let's see. All right, I'm
Okay.
gonna play this quick. I don't think you can hear it, but so they're doing their little announcements and stuff, and there is
Which clip are you using?
the shot of the what's that?
Go ahead.
Shot of the lady in the get up with the snake around her neck.
Ah, yeah. Brittany, the coordinator.
Yeah. Got Snowflake, I think.
That's right. Good name memory. I don't know who named Snowflake out there, but
Yeah, I don't
kudos
know.
to you. She's on the
Snowflake's
news now.
famous. It looks like she's going up into the mic to leave a comment and be like, you know what? I'm just happy to feel like we brought our best out here. All we have to do is do routine plays routinely.
There you go. Standard is the standard.
Yup. We're stoked about that. That'll be fun. That'll be take up the whole weekend. So you got that weekend. This weekend's booked with
we got
Saxonburg.
Sprankles, we got Animal Con, we got Rhubarb and Reptiles. Then we got Tinley Park. And I've got one weekend booked with tours. I think they're in-house tours this time, not the virtual ones. So some people coming out
That'll
to
be
just
fun.
check out the snakes and stuff. So that's all between now and the next one.
Which, if you are somebody that wants to take a tour here, then you can reach out to Hadley at Reach Reptiles.
Hadley at Reach Out Reptiles.
She's our event coordinator
Pretty fun stuff.
/ just all around
It is
cool
super
person.
cool. Just you can split it with as many friends as you want, Zoom call in or whatever, do a virtual tour, ask all the questions, see all the snakes, all the secret house snakes that we're not allowed to show anybody. No promises, but
Yeah, not
Yeah.
showing anybody.
take the tour. Well, it's funny at Retic Fest this summer, everyone's like, oh, my favorite part was the house snakes. And I was like, we blocked the house snake room
Yeah, how'd
off.
you get in there?
Yeah, there's so many people that are like, oh, I love seeing the house snakes. And then today I was working downstairs and Tim was like, yeah, it was so cool when there was 30 people in here listening to me talk about house snakes. And I was like, Who knew people wanted to listen to me talk about house snakes? I was like, you had 30 people in here? This room was blocked off. No wonder everybody saw
spilling secrets.
Sheesh. Anyways.
Yeah, and then you got Tinley. We already talked about Tinley. Is there anything new and exciting about Tinley this year for us?
You never know what's new and exciting about Tinley until you go there, and then you discover what was new and exciting, which is why Tinley is so exciting. Especially if you're into like pythons in particular, like any kind of pythons, then Tinley Park in October, that's near Chicago. It's the NARBC. That is the show to be at. They have other NARBCs around the country. Like we attend Schaumburg, which is also close to Chicago. That's a much more like laid back, chill one. Great place if you just want to like hang with us for the weekend. Tinley is different. Tinley is like insane. A ton of people there. Everybody pulls out all the stops. You know what I mean? A lot of great deals going on. It's a lot of fun. So, yeah, if you get the chance to go, you should definitely go. And I always tell everybody, people think of it as a Saturday, Sunday show. I'm like, Sunday, unless you're buying a bunch of wholesale snakes or something, I don't know that you even need to go on Sunday. I would recommend getting a VIP pass and going Friday before anyone gets there, and the vendors are all just hanging out and setting up and pulling all their animals out. That's the best part for animals. And then Saturday night for the U.S. Arc auction, because that's lit. So,
oh, yeah. It's a good time.
Yep.
Be there, be square.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What are we talking about tonight, Tom?
Talking about poop. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Some people could say it's a bit of a crappy subject to talk about. He's
not even a dad yet, folks. Come on.
Actually, it's some news for you. I'm just kidding.
Oh, man. That is some news.
That would be some news.
Congratulations. Maybe.
Thanks. Not. So we had a video that went like crazy viral for us.
Well, this was funny. It's not necessarily that it got like so many views or whatever, but it's a video that's been sitting around for like a year and then just was like, I'm going to be popular now.
The YouTube.
So I think it had like 20,000 views or something, which is a good video for us. But we made it over a year ago, right?
Yeah, do you guys remember this thumbnail right here? Oh, it's so zoomed in for people. It's like bigger than our heads.
If you ever saw it, you remember.
Wait, reach your arm out to your right.
Yep.
Reach your arm out to your right. Down a little bit. Oh man, you just touched the snake's butthole.
Wow, that's pretty much
there's
the whole video as well.
Yeah. I guess that's not that shocking, but yeah. I don't know, man. That was like a weird one. I mean, it made sense. There's a lot of like
I think it was at first like reptile people, right? But the context was we had a snake that I was like, hey, this snake needs to be upgraded into, a more arboreal cage or whatever. She's like a grow up type of a thing. We need to get her moving, right? So she can get things moving, right? Motion is lotion, right?
Motion is lotion.
So she'd gotten constipated, and we basically helped unconstipate her on the video. And I think people were interested in it from a reptile perspective, but then somehow I think it transcended that to like pimple popping genre.
Yeah, it went to like the satisfying like video corner of the internet where all the weirdos live. See you there later tonight.
It was funny to see because it went in a matter of a couple weeks. It went from like 20,000 to 200,000 views.
Yeah, it was crazy.
A year after it was posted, just randomly. So what was funny was you could see it kind of working its way through the algorithm, right? Like, so all our reptile people are like, oh, it's so nice that you care about your snakes to get that hands-on, right? Those types of comments. And then after a while, like after it opened up more than that, the comments were more like, I don't know, very specific requests on what they were looking for in a poop video. It was like, why didn't you show the nuggets of poop plopping down more? Or hold the camera still. I'm trying to get that absolute crisp focus on the poop right now. There was like some people that very specifically wanted to see the details.
Well, first were the glove people, man.
No, that was like the end. That was like at the very end. After a while, it was just like the next 100 comments were like, why don't you wear gloves?
Where are the gloves? Why no gloves? Your
And it
thumb
was,
is up a snake's butthole. Why?
it was funny because I was trying to feel around between membranes and poop, so I needed my tactile senses to feel the gloves, right? Or to feel the poop and help the snake out. So I wasn't wearing gloves, but I think people were very, very concerned about that. And
Everyone say hi, Abby.
Hey, there's Abby. Hold on. I think we're going to get Jody in a minute.
Everyone say hi, Jody.
Wait for it. There he is.
Hi, Jody. Bye, Jody. Bye, Abby.
Anyway, yeah, so that's why I didn't wear gloves. I wanted to make sure that I was doing the right thing in there. I had to feel around for it. And I think once it got to that larger audience, people were just like so disgusted. But I mean, I'll tell you, like I have 4 human kids, right? And I'm used to just being like drenched in their bodily fluids all the time anyways. You stop caring after a while. Let's be honest. Parents in the chat section, raise your hand if you know what I'm talking about. Like you have kids, maybe your first one, you're like, oh no, you ruined my nice shirt, you know? But by like the 3rd kid, you're just like...
You're like, hey honey, do you have any toilet paper? Nah, all right, I'll just use my shirt.
Yeah, like you have like 3 shirts like locked in a safe that you're going to take out when you have a babysitter, right?
Yeah.
And all the other shirts are just kind of like...
And you're just like, nah.
For me, it's just reptile shirts.
Suck the fingers off a little bit. Make sure your hands are clean.
Doesn't matter. And human poop is going to be worse than snake poop, too.
Oh,
so, like, if you're talking about, like, snake poop, I mean, for me, like, if I'm going through and I'm checking on a snake and I'm like, oh, hey, baby, how you doing? And there's a big turd in the corner. I'm like, I just got to get that out. It's steaming up the cage and everything. I just grab it. Like, I don't even care anymore. You know, you can kind of wipe your hand off as you walk away if you want to, you know. But anyway, yeah, people were pretty upset about the gloves. And I don't think it was for snake safety. I think it was
it's
so
personal
indecent.
sanitation. I think the fact that like we threw a clip of you eating a Tootsie Roll at the end of that.
Oh, yeah, we were definitely messing with people. If you haven't watched the video, you can go watch it now. But let us know what you think. Comment with some of the people because they're not reptile industry people anymore. So you can have some fun trolling the comments.
No, I actually I wrote some of these comments down because they made me laugh.
Okay, let's hear it.
And we can go through them. But because it's just the variety. I was just so surprised at how many types of comments you can find on a poo video. First one is from Crystal Stevens. They said, "Reach Out Reptiles turned into Reach In Reptiles." So, I mean, listen, it's not the worst brand name.
Kind of always were. Just saying.
Yep. Doing
snake breeders. What are you gonna do?
Yep. Girly Burp said, "As someone with slow GI motility, I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing with you. Hopefully you're laughing too. I can say that she truthfully feels so much better." And I was like, you know what?
No, I think that was pure empathy. I don't think there was supposed to be any laughing there.
Well, laugh now, cry later. FDIW said, "Being pregnant whenever I'm feeling bloated or stuck, I keep coming back to this video and it's so cathartic."
I'm glad to help you out.
Listen, as someone who will never be pregnant,
I'm here for the pregnant ladies. They need some love. So we're here for you. Watch the video, whatever that does for you.
Like the comment as a sign of solidarity. And you know what?
Right.
You do you, man. Whatever makes you feel better. Beatrice Maxine said, "Truly heartwarming." I just liked how I feel like no part. Maybe it is heartwarming if you're like see past the literal pile of poop coming out of the actual bottle.
You just have obviously never been that compacted before, Thomas.
Clearly, I will let you know what happens.
I will be there to help you out.
Thanks. With no gloves. I didn't know where I was heading into life until I saw this film. Thank you for going out of your way to deliver such a kind, heartwarming message.
You're welcome.
This one made me laugh too. Andre Pasca said, "This stuff could pass for cold nuggets you put in kids' stockings. Sorry, kids, due to budget cuts this year, instead of coal, you get impacted snake crap for being naughty." So
that sounds like it could actually happen at the Hartle house.
New reptile products.
Watch out, kids.
Coming your way. Yeah. Last one's interesting. I always wondered how snakes pooped, and now I know.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is like most people. I mean, they see the body shape of the snake, and they're like, "Look, it's all tail." You know, like where does the poop even come out? Can't come out the tip, right? It's too tiny. So they just don't have a clue. So I think videos like that are anatomically educational, right? So yeah, I don't know. That was literally one of those videos where we were just doing things. It was like a, obviously less frequent part of snake husbandry, but something that needs to be done, or might
Oh, we
need to be
definitely
done.
didn't go into that being like, what's going to make an amazing video that everyone's going to watch, like this snake medical procedure.
Like, wow, we are pulling poop out of a snake. You should film that for some reason. And then the second thought was, should put that on YouTube for some reason.
Jason Phillips said all that effort and you could have just fed her some White Castle.
Oh,
man.
That's funny.
Yeah, and then Tim from Intrepid said new ROR subsidiary Reach in Proctology.
There you go.
Listen, we're just waiting on the hearing back if he can get his license or not. Eric Blick asked actually a good question. Is the white urates considered poop too? Technically, no.
Really, Thomas?
Well, you see, I've been following,
Thomas
the
learned
recent
a lot about
interest,
poop lately.
the recent interest in poop that people seem to have. I actually did some research because we were like, what are urates? And Garrett's always been like, well, it's like the calcium and the bones and stuff, which you look at it and you'd kind of maybe put that together as like, these are the crunched up bones. But it turns out it's uric acid, which is... long story short, your body needs to digest purines because they can build up to toxic levels and mess with your DNA and RNA stuff. So you need to digest uric acid in order to not die. So you turn it into uric acid, and that's what the white stuff is. So it's not. I don't know. So maybe
it's actually as a result of a high protein diet.
It's powdered piss, kind of.
Okay. So why do birds have it too?
Same
nuts
old.
And seeds are so high protein?
I don't know. I think so.
They're saying basically it's so much of it that they can't just urinate it out.
You know what? No, there is actually reason. It conserves. It's higher energy. It takes more energy to do that, but you save water. You conserve water.
There you go.
You don't have to move around and sweat as much.
So excreting it as a solid helps you not to dehydrate when you have to pass.
Hey, listen, I only went to the first class. I didn't make it to the second class.
Well, that's pretty good. I mean, honestly. So, it's funny. I think we were. I don't want to give anything away because we have a video coming up next week. How much are we allowed to say?
Well, I was just going to hint that maybe that might not have been the real reason I was learning about poop this week. We'll just say that.
Thomas went down the poop path with the resurgence of this video. So we decided to do another video. So next week you can tune in if you want to learn more. We filmed a fairly, it was another as it happened video. Didn't include me. I'll give you that.
I'll just say
I wasn't in the video at all. It also didn't include gloves. So that shows how normal
big snakes equals big poops.
Yeah.
Write that one down.
There you go. So, but anyways, yeah, it was kind of interesting because you were asking me and Hadley, or I was asking, or someone was asking, I don't remember anymore, what's up with the urates, and we had to Google it to find out. I was like, I think it's because of all that calcium and stuff, but not true.
What did you say to me today? Reptile industry is just a bunch of people pretending to be scientists.
I don't know if that's exactly
that was a little bit of a harsh spin on it.
The point I was trying to make is if you have a dog or a cat, it's truly and completely domesticated. You don't really know, just because you have a dog doesn't mean you know anything about wolves' natural history. But when you have a reptile, am I right, guys? Let me know. When you have a reptile, there's something about it that piques your interest. For example, this is a Cape house snake, right? So it's from the South Africa, the very Cape region. But I showed on the Instagram live some of our black house snakes. Those are more from kind of the Congo area, as I understand, Northern Africa, much more tropical, stuff like that. So we keep them a little bit differently. And it sparks scientific curiosity when you have these reptiles. The only problem that I have is when people, and everybody has this problem with everybody. This is an internet problem, and it's not a reptile problem. But you have online people that suddenly are experts because they learned 2 pieces of information or something. And so you get this like watered down, repeated, parroted version of any real information because people don't go to actual experts. So obviously I am not the expert when it comes to what's in the poop, why is it in the poop, what does this mean about the poop. I should read that book, Everybody Poops. I might learn a little bit. But yeah, so not the guy to talk to about that for sure. There might be other things in life that I'm closer to being an expert on, but poop I'm familiar with. Certainly no expert.
You know what? Susie is asking a question. Susie, I will caveat and say I'm still not an expert in
He did learn two things. So he is
she
an
said my
expert
SD
now.
born in March just peed and there was white clumps. So that was not poop. That was all urine, I'm gathering. I'm still learning. I think it...
Yeah, kind of like you're just saying it's
There
urates.
definitely is liquid urine, for sure.
No. She's saying that within the liquid urine, there were urates.
Yes.
Urates, some of them are chalky and some of them are squishy. They're like undercooked scrambled eggs or whatever. So those slip out with the pee,
That's not traditional poop. That is just mostly what comes from the meat.
Yep.
It's what, I don't know, man.
I imagine it like milk being curdled into cottage cheese.
I was about to go home and eat cereal.
The further that you let it go, the more curdling, the more, because if you, without gloves, go through some urates in your hand, it is like squishing cottage cheese curds. So if you want to watch this video next week and you really want the 4D tactile thing,
I want to pull up a clip.
Eat it with some scrambled eggs and cottage cheese, and then just kind of, smear one of those cheese curds on your finger as you do it. That's kind of what happens.
And then lean over your reptile's cage and eat it, and imagine that you're eating reptile poop. It's completely harmless.
Thomas has been doing a lot of editing where he has to amp everything up lately. It's going to his head.
I felt like that was, why I'm such a good editor. Hold on, I'm gonna pull up a clip. Maybe is that giving too much away? I feel like if they showed up live, they should be able to get the secrets.
Well, even if they don't show up live and they watch this video this week at any point, they're gonna get the secrets, right?
Hold on. Yeah, it's true. But you know what?
Hey, shout out to you guys if you showed up live. What's up? Ask us a question in the chat.
All right, hold on. I'm gonna show them just
hit that like button. Let's see who's here live.
They're gonna see a clip from our recent video.
Are you showing clips?
Very short clip.
All right. Which clip is this?
The scrambled eggs.
Oh.
See, look at this, guys. Like that could be in your mouth. If you just eat cottage cheese over top of your retix cage.
You need like a headphone warning there with that noise there. But
I don't think they can hear it. Hey, if you did, sorry. But yeah, that's from next week's video. Look forward to that. It's a fun one for sure. All right.
I like this snake.
So yeah, you were talking about like being a little bit of an armchair philosopher type thing, armchair scientist maybe. How do you think people should go about, like, how do you responsibly go about like sharing information that you've learned but then also being teachable? Like, what do you think the best approach is for that?
I mean, I think you just have to be open to the fact that we're still all learning and things are changing. I mean, the weird thing is, I feel like it's probably just a maturity thing overall, not necessarily like age maturity, although that kind of happens automatically, but like maturity in any industry. Like if you're a young punk or you're just into something, you learn two things, you think this is right and that's wrong and everything is black and white, right? And then, your worldview gets challenged again and again with exceptions and dilemmas and difficulties and things like that. And then you start to realize, it's all kind of like a gray area. And really, we're all just trying to do the best that we can. So if we all start at a base level and like this is perfection right here, this point, and we're all down here, you're maybe over here and I'm over here, you and I could both be learning totally different things where I didn't learn anything that you learned to get a little closer to that point. But the further we go, the closer that we get to that point.
I feel like I have a story that illustrates this point.
Okay.
So once upon a time, I was a kid just fresh out on his own, buying food for himself for the first time.
Poor Thomas.
And I was really into peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. And one day I opened my jelly jar and there was a little bit of fuzzy stuff on the top. And I was like, oh, that's disappointing. The whole jar is ruined. And then I thought, if I scrape what's on the top off, like I'm not eating mold, so I should be fine. Like everything underneath is clearly
Molded.
sullied. But as it turns out, bad jam is bad jam, and I got severe food poisoning. And Ashley made fun of me like to no end when I told her that story. She was like, I would have told her the funniest joke she's ever heard. And then she comes back to me like 4 months later, and she's like, "You'll never guess what happened to me. I got food poisoning from peanut butter." And I was like, dude, we can make like a whole sandwich with our food
You're over
poisoning.
here with the peanut butter.
Yeah.
There's jelly. She's over here with the peanut butter.
Exactly.
Both of you guys are
Formed a
progressing
perfect-
towards perfection.
In a peanut butter and jelly
And
sandwich.
maybe one of these days you guys will actually learn something that's useful to your life. Like,
Still working
just
on that.
don't eat it. It's covered in mold.
Hey, I haven't had food poisoning since.
Oh, challenge accepted. But yeah, I mean, I think that's it. You just have to, like, people need to have a little bit of grace, you know? I've heard of being tactful and graceful. Like,
Ego to the side.
let other people learn stuff. You know what I mean? That's okay. It's okay if they're here, they're there, if they're down here, they're up here. You know, the truth is you can learn from everybody if you're willing to. But as soon as you're like, I'm done and I'm better than you, you kind of close your mind to whatever someone else might have to be able to present to you. So
All right.
that would be my armchair coaching for the night.
Well, I was just about to open you up to some more armchair coaching.
All right.
Somebody asked, do you think we'll ever be able to tame venomous snakes working with them daily since they're young, and will eventually be able to free handle them without problems like ball pythons?
People have done that very thing. So, yes, I don't know that it's something... The problem with it is not that you can't do it, right? The problem with it is that if you're working with a venomous snake and you lose a sense of respect for that animal and what it potentially can do, and then you have an accident, the repercussions of that accident are far worse than, like, if this little snake, I'm talking with my hands and stuff, I'm not watching it every second, and I don't think it's going to bite me at all during this show. Have I ever been bitten on this show? Absolutely I have. I've been bitten on this show. We've had snakes climb up the background and try to fall off. We've been pooped all over numerous times, bringing it all full circle back to the poop topic.
Yeah, I was having a lot of flashbacks to getting pooped on the
so
show.
you don't think those things are going to happen, but sometimes they do. So if this was a cobra or something, and it was a very well-behaved cobra, but then something spooked it, like it crawled into a forest of my arm hair or something unexpected like that, and it freaks out and bites me, you know, now I die and jeopardize the industry. Thomas is left here to try to contain a cobra on his own.
Run a whole business.
Yeah, maybe that. I mean, if I'm dead, I guess I don't care. But go for it, Thomas. So, yeah, I mean, that's the thing. It can be done. It has been done. Should everybody do it? No, you shouldn't. I mean, I've been around very... You know, tame is a funny word because I think it depends on how you define it, but, you know, very amicable animals that are and happen to be venomous. If this snake was venomous, would it matter? It's not biting me, so it could be the most venomous snake in the world or a little bit venomous or not venomous at all. It's actually irrelevant as long as it doesn't bite me, but if it does, it's a different story, right? So that's the only thing. Do I ever think that venomous snakes are going to be like popular in the hobby because they're like way more chill than they used to be? No, I don't. The truth is there's a lot of venomous snakes that are super chill, that have really mellow temperaments, and they still don't make great beginner's pets because of the potential, right? So, yeah. Good question, though.
Yeah. Everyone's talking about cheese now. Would you eat moldy cheese? Do you eat moldy cheese?
You do. Yeah, like blue cheese is moldy cheese. And a lot of cheeses, they get their patina, what do you call it on the outside? The crust has to develop, and then the veins, you know, wick in through the cheese. That crazy Italian deli that we go to down in Pittsburgh has all the crazy, like, aged cheeses and meats. And it's like the molds that grow on them become a serious part of the flavor.
I'm going to stick to my
I'm like into it. I don't know why some make you sick and some don't.
Yeah.
I'm not an expert.
Well, Susie was saying if she sees mold on her cheese, she cuts it off and eats it. It's just straight up.
Susie.
Just going for it. All right. Trinity Murray asked, how do you tell if your snake poop is normal? How do you tell if your snake poop is normal, Garrett?
So, again, as a father of 4 human children, I don't know that normal is the way to describe it. It's more like the daily news when you observe poop. I'm telling you, like, with each of our kids, for probably the first 9 months of their lives, I would come home and Ashley would say something to the effect of, how was your day? And I would tell her all the things that happened throughout the day. And I'd say, how was your day? And she would talk for about an hour and a half on the condition of our children's poop. And I'm like, that was your whole day, huh? Just intense, what did you call it? Crazy descriptions of poop? What were you saying? You're asking for descriptions? It was like vivid or violently describe what's happening right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're giving away the video now.
No, this was behind
It's
the
give
scenes. Extreme descriptions of what's happening right now. So anyways, yeah, the poop can kind of tell you, like, for example, if there's a lot of solid poop. Let's say I feed my animal a huge meal, like way bigger than it's used to. It's probably going to have a big solid turd later. And if it's really hard or it's really dry, that could mean that it didn't hydrate well enough during the digestive process. So making sure that they have fresh water, like especially with Superdorf retics, they're capable of taking down gigantic prey items. According to, like kind of Daniel's observations in the wild, they probably don't do that very often in the wild, which is contrary to what we used to think. We'd be like, probably eats a seagull twice a year, And he's like, no, they're eating like bats the size of small to medium rat frequently, right? So if you give them a giant meal and they've got a huge lump 4 or 5 days after you fed them or whatever, you better be refreshing their water daily and making sure that they're okay with that, because they'll have these big solid poops. That's how they can get impacted and stuff like that. Even just low humidity can do that. Obviously there's like internal parasites that you have to watch out for. Not so much with like, if you have one captive bred reptile, this is not probably going to be an issue for you. But if you have a lot of reptiles in a very mixed collection, or you bring in a bunch of wild caught stuff, or you buy stuff from whoever's cheapest instead of reputable breeders or whatever, you're probably going to end up with internal parasites. So you can observe that and figure out what's going on with it. There's all kinds of things that you can do. There's a lot of people that examine it even just for what's going on. Like people, back to the venomous snake things. Like I know a lot of people that keep like gaboon vipers. They'll save the poop, put it in water, mix it up, and then sift it and collect the fangs. The teeth are replaced throughout their lives and they don't digest the teeth. So they'll sift through it and collect fangs out of the poop and keep track of their snakes shedding their teeth and stuff like that,
That's
and
cool.
It's just kind of a cool keepsake, right? 1.5 inch long fang or whatever. So yeah, there's it can mean all kinds of things. I mean, they should make a book like Everybody Poops, but for snakes. There's a book out there that's like, what if you get like the little rabbit pellet poops? What does that mean? Or what if you get like the big green poop? Or what if you get they should do one of those for reptiles.
Weirdly enough, I think I've read that book, and I thought it was like the most niche, weird,
but very educational.
It's a kid's book, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It's like overly.
No, the Everybody Poops is a kid's book. The other one I was talking about was something I think they bought my father-in-law one year or whatever. That has all these pictures and stuff of different poops and what they mean. So, would you buy a book like that? Let us know in the comment section.
We can provide
if we made a book of like all the snake poops and what they mean, then is that a book that you would buy? So, yeah, I'm trying to think of like super weird things that we've found in the poop, but I don't think there's too many surprises.
Should I pull out the little
captive life?
The thing we found?
No, you guys can watch the video next week if you want to learn more about poop.
Next Tuesday if you're on Patreon.
The precursor.
Or earlier if we get it up earlier.
That's true, yeah. If you're on Patreon, you'll get early access. So.
Susie said, working with animals, I've taken more pictures of poop and vomit than I ever thought I would. It tells a story.
Yeah.
You know what? That's a pretty romantic way of looking at it.
Yeah, it's true, especially vomit. That's not for most species anyways, that's not a normal part of things. So, yeah, I mean, going through and learning what it is. I mean, that's one of the reasons, like, when we're establishing a new baby Superdorf here at Reach Out Reptiles, we like them to have, like, 6 or 8 meals of a varied diet before they go out. And it's not even so much about what's going in. We talk about meals, and that's how we record the meals. But what we're actually looking for is what's coming out. You want to make sure all the systems are go in a new baby snake, because things can happen. You guys have probably seen crazy instances where maybe a snake is born without one eye or something like that. Well, what if it's born with like a twist in its gut or something like that? You need to make sure that animal is actually like, physically healthy. It's not about, here, I got it started eating for you, because that's hard. That's part of it. But ensuring that the health and the quality of all the animals that we go out is why we're watching what's coming out the other end. While if you buy a snake that just hatched today, it might be a while, 6-8 weeks or something like that, before it's ready to ship to you. It just depends on how quick. It could be sooner than that, but it just depends on the digestion system of the animal. Because it tells a story. That's
a lot about poop. What's up, Nagatani Exotics Lily? Thanks for catching the live with us. Tim from Intrepid said Niles made the biggest poo of his life in his fresh tub the other day. Frightening.
Yeah, they definitely like the water thing. Like, why are they always pooping in the water?
Well,
it's nice.
It's kind of potty in water.
No, I mean, like Americans traditionally, but it's not like a human condition.
Well,
you're not submerged.
The snakes over here. How many snakes overseas have you seen poop?
I don't know. Every single one that I picked up.
That's fair.
Motion is lotion.
Motion is lotion. All right, we're going to name a snake here in just a second. Do you want to give the people a refresh on what snake we got?
Sure. Well, it's a female, and she is a brand new, very exclusive form of albino. The first, true albino in house snakes. Albinos, true amelanistic animal in house snakes. And so she's absolutely glow in the dark, really vibrant, beautiful. It's a female Cape house snake from Bushveld Reptiles. We're pretty excited to have her included in the breeding population.
So go ahead and think of your names. We're going to do a little random name picking. You guys are going to drop your name suggestions in the chat here in just a minute, and I will read them off to Garrett, and he can't see who's naming them because we have some repeat winners, but we want to just be a skill thing. No bias at all. So we'll get started with that in just a few minutes. But did you guys catch the little behind the scenes tour of Metcalf Reptiles we did last week? Garrett, what did you think of that video?
It was fun. I wasn't there at all. It was cool to see, Aaron has actually been around snakes his whole life, right? So he's a younger guy, but he started really young. So proportionately in his life, he's been around them for a long time. So it's kind of cool to see what he likes, what he doesn't like, sort of what he's into or whatever. It's interesting to me to see where I agree and disagree with someone. Like if you and I went clothes shopping, we would probably end up with different things that we selected for each other based on our age and cultural differences between generations. Right?
Yes.
And he's definitely more like your generation.
You would end up with jeans and I would end up with something that
jeans
looks like what normal people would wear.
Probably. Jeans aren't normal anymore.
Not to the level that you wear them at.
Staple for
you know what your wife said to me the other day? She said when we talked about maybe lifting together or whatever, she was like, I need to go get him workout clothes because he's going to show up in jeans and a T-shirt.
What's wrong with that? So exactly. Anyway, generational differences, everyone. So no, what I thought was cool was to go see what type of stuff he was into. So you guys can watch the video and see if you agree, because I know a lot of his collection and what he has over there. So when he was picking out saying, I love this and I love that,
you really like
it was cool to be like, oh, I really like those too. It'd be like if you bought a new pair of shoes and I came in, I was like, I love your shoes, which I would probably never say because I don't care that much about shoes. But when I bought new shoes, you liked my shoes, right?
I also helped you buy those shoes. I said, these are cool shoes you should get. The dude shoes.
No. The other ones. Those
your leather ones?
None of those black ones that I wore the other day. And you were like, look, your outfit coordinates and you're not.
Oh, you bought Vans or whatever. What were they?
Vans, I guess. See, I don't even know what they were. But anyways, my point is, it's interesting to see if that same cultural or generational difference exists in reptiles. I think there's a lot less of it.
I mean, it'd basically be if I was breeding snakes that young. Aaron's barely a year or two older than me.
Yeah. Well, and he's probably like closer to me in snake age than he is in human years, right? In other words, like he's been keeping snakes for a long time. He's bred several generations. He's actually produced, there's a lot of people that talk big on the internet, but he's actually someone that's extremely modest, but he has bred snakes that hatched from snakes he bred.
Yeah, he's got snake grandbabies.
If you talk about that, that takes the amount of people on the internet that have something to say versus the amount of people who've actually accomplished that. Like,
and they're also crazy looking snakes. They're not just like
I mean, that's what I'm saying. They're always going to be crazy into the next generation because, like, if I hatch 30 snakes and I pick 2 to keep, they're going to be like the crazy 2. It's not going to be the number 5, 10, or 30 pick out of my clutch that I sold to somebody. It's my personal animal, right? And then I keep 2 of those animals, one from this clutch, one from that clutch. I have a vision for a project. Wouldn't it be cool if these traits and those traits all came together? And I cherry pick from those 2. I raise them up a new generation. I finally put them together. Because when you first breed, it's like you bought something that maybe it was the best you could get, but maybe you just were trying to stay cheap or whatever, right? Or maybe someone gave you one snake and you bought something to breed to it. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying, like, the level of quality is not going to be the same as if you had a ton of snakes to choose from and you cherry picked one.
You're actually curating like a look at that point, instead
right?
Of just randomly
and a lot of it's
like,
personal preference. Someone else might have totally, like, that number 30 snake in my mind might be the number 1 snake to somebody else, which is also fine, and they can take that project in a entirely different direction. But you don't really get a sense for who I am, what I like as an artistic expression in breeding snakes until I at least get to the 2nd generation.
Yep.
And if not more, because you really want to, like, refine it and make it better over time. So, especially with Superdwarfs, I think it's like 4 gens minimum.
And Rant, let's name a snake.
All right, guys. What are some of the names that we have for her? If you have a name for this girl, drop it in the comments section. Thomas will read them out.
Not the comments. Drop it in the live chat. He doesn't know the difference.
Generational thing. And then we'll pick a name.
All right. So starting off, we got SpongeBob.
Oh, that's good.
This isn't the name suggestion, but I like it. Blue cheese.
That was just part of the earlier conversation.
Yeah.
That's going to be Susie's new nickname now. Blue cheese.
How about Susie House?
What?
Tangerine, Glowy, Crisper, Sherbert, Bug, Talent, Pumpkin, Ashley, 00 or 00, which means albino in Swahili.
What?
Tangerine, Spice, Legends, or Legends talking about you and Aaron. I don't know. 10 because she's a 10. Blossom for Orange Blossom. Glowy again. Yeah, it's what we got so far.
Those are good. Honestly, I'm going to have to go with CRISPR. I like CRISPR. Like, it'd be CRISPR, right?
Yeah.
Like the
genetic
technology.
sequencing thing.
Yeah, because she is like a brand new form of albino. She's literally like a mutant. She wasn't made artificially through CRISPR, but if I was going to make a house snake using CRISPR technology, this would probably be it. Although the other descriptive names were very good. The 10 out of 10, Glowy, Tangerine.
I like 00 because like African house snake named like, what does it mean? Means albino in Swahili.
That is pretty cool. But then I'm going to make like 1 million of these someday, so.
Well.
I mean, you can always name the first.
We're going to need a lot of names.
All right.
Because they're all holdbacks.
Who named CRISPR? Who got it?
That was Jason.
Jason
Philp.
Oh, what's up? Good job, Jason.
Congrats, Jason. You win the name game.
Okay, so one of the things that you guys need to know, especially if you're on Patreon, we love joining you guys afterwards, but the schedule's not always going to line up the way that it used to. So who's on for Patreon tonight? Is it all Patreon?
We're doing breeder tier tonight.
Breeder tier only, right?
Well, now I knew, but now I feel like I should double check.
I think you should always double check.
Breeder tier is tonight.
Breeder tier. So the rest of you guys jump on and join Breeder tier real quick, and we'll see you there. All right, it's going to be pretty fun. I have some interesting thoughts that I want to bring by you guys. We'll give you guys a little bit of teaser to some of the stuff that we want to talk about. But a lot's changed in the industry over the last couple of years as far as like the economy's gone up and down. Interest rates are crazy. It's affected pricing left and right. A lot of people have, gotten out or moved things or shifted. Morphs that were unattainable before are attainable now, or they were really expensive, now they're cheap, or things are all over the place. So it's kind of a cool time, just in the way that the onset of COVID really mixed everything up. You saw a lot of like really well-established companies fall, and then young startups rise, right? I want to know, is that happening with the market, with the reptile industry at large, right? Like whether it's house snakes or super dwarves or anything in between. What's going on with that kind of stuff. So I'm interested to hear some of your guys' feedback in the breeder tier. And if you guys want to join in those kind of conversations, jump in, join that breeder tier now.
Do we have any spots available that want to join in now?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Sweet. That and more.
I don't
breeder tier
know
only.
how many. There might only be like one or two.
See you guys in a month. Or if you're in breeder